Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Rachel here from I'm a Teacher, and today's video is going to be another full week of meals just for one person. This is actually the second video in this series. If you're new around here, you may not know that I actually live in a household full of all adults and we do all of our food together. Generally, I'm the person who does all of the meal planning, grocery shopping, cooking, meal prepping, all of that stuff. However, in order to stay really inspired with my weight loss journey and just to try some new foods I don't normally have just due to like health restrictions or, food preferences, I decided to do my meals completely separate. I did this last week. I do have a grocery haul and a video about a full week of meals from last week. I will link those down below. And then I also have a grocery haul for this week, and I'm doing a whole week of meals here. So I did use some of the ingredients from last week and rolled them over. I think if you're a great meal prepper, that is one of the best things that you can do, is just to roll over your ingredients. So I will leave all of these videos in order down below so that you can kind of see how I start at the beginning and use some of these ingredients. This is just something new I wanted to try just for fun and to be inspired. I will link any recipes that I have down below that inspired any of these meals, I guess you could say. And I will give one video I know that goes to Amanda Cyper because she inspired the barbecue chicken quinoa bowls. She actually made her own sauce. I just bought a jar of GU's barbecue sauce. But anyway, I will link all that down below. And then last week I actually did make a detailed list of all of the meals and kind of how it broke down. So I will do the same thing and also give you any ideas of any changes that I made. But I will do that, of course, for you. And I am sitting in my mama's car and filming this video in my car my mama's car because she has just been in and out of the hospital with different stuff. And half the time I spend in a car because during this time, they don't let you in the hospital with them. So you just have to wait outside. So anyway, I'm getting ready to head out to some appointments and stuff, but I just want to show you all the meals that I had for an entire week. Some of these might be voiceovers just due to being gone a lot and being at the hospital and the doctors and stuff. But I hope that you enjoy all of this, and I hope that you watch the beginning of this series so that you can see how everything's broken down. And if you try any of these meals, please tag me. I am on Instagram. I'm a teacher, the exact same name. So be sure to tag me and let me know what you think. And once again, be sure to put all of these things into your own calculator. I would suggest that just in case we have different ingredients. So thank you for watching, and let's get into the food. All right, let's get into the food, of course. So for starters, let's get to some of the fruit. As you know, I mentioned that I had some fruit left over. I did have 2 bananas left over. I do have 2 that I bought this week. These are just going to be for snacks. But what I did with the strawberries and the bananas is I actually decided to flash freeze them and make smoothie packets. So for 2 days out of this week, I'm going to be having a smoothie for breakfast. When you flash freeze something, you basically take it and you put it on a flat sheet, like a baking sheet. You can put parchment paper if you prefer, and you just slice all of your fruit. You can do veggies as well, and you put it on there on the pan, even layer. You freeze it, and then once it's frozen, you transfer it to your baggies. This just keeps everything from clumping together. As you can see, all of my fruit it's frozen right now, but it's not sticking all together. I'm going to pop those in the freezer probably as soon as this is over because I don't want to undo the work that I did. But 2 days out of this week, I'm going to be having smoothies. I do have almond milk, of course, and I'll just have that for a snack. For the other 5 days, I'm going to be having a little bit of these small yellow potatoes. Of course, be sure to watch my grocery haul from this week. I am just doing enough for 5 days worth. 148 grams of the yellow potatoes are I believe 3 Smart Points. So what I did is I just cut them up. I sprayed them with a little bit of my extra virgin olive oil spray. This counts as 0 Smart Points, but even when I did calculate a little bit of oil, it still came out to 3 Smart Points. It's not enough to make a difference. And you can do however you'd like it, of course, but I just put them on a single baking sheet. I diced them up, put them on a single baking sheet. I did leave the skins on. And I just baked them at 400 and just kept an eye on them. I did bake them the same time I did another dish, which I'll talk about in a moment. And I'm going to have enough portion for 3 Smart Points worth, along with some of my eggs. This week, of course, I did buy the Born Free eggs. I did love the Happy Egg. I actually have a few left over from the Happy Egg. Actually, no, I already cooked those. So I'm going to be doing just the fried egg with this on top. And those are 0 Smart Points. I might scramble them some week. And then, or some days. And then I'm going to do some bacon. This is just the bacon. You can have 2 slices. Now this is a half a slice. So basically I can have 4 of these pieces for 3 smart points. Some days I might even do 1. Some days I might just do, 2 pieces, which equal just 1 slice of bacon, just depending on how hungry I am. The same with the eggs. I might do 1 egg or I might do 2 eggs. But this is enough for 5 days. Then for my snacks, I actually just sliced up some cucumber that I had. And then I also did these Bolt House carrot chips. Let me show you what they look like. And these are 0 smart points. I only put a few in here because as this starts to empty, what I'll do is put the rest of the carrots in there because I know I'm not going to eat them all. And that'll just be for next week. For my dip, I took just half of that ranch packet that I bought, which is just a Hidden Valley Ranch dip packet, which is 0 smart points. I combined it with 1 Chobani single plain non-fat Greek yogurt, and I mixed it together. So this is a 0 point dip. And I'm just going to have these all together for my snack. I did want to mention that I do have a bunch of green onions, and these, I'll just add them to dishes. I wanted chives, but I couldn't find any fresh. I wanted to put them over my eggs and potatoes, but I will probably add them to some potatoes here and there, or any of these dishes for flavor. Then I also do have a lemon. I have some tea, just regular black tea. So I'm going to make some unsweetened tea with lemon, or I might just put this in water just for a little bit of flavor. I will probably do that toward the weekend just for a little something extra. Now for lunches, I actually cooked up some quinoa. This is quinoa from the Whole Foods bulk section. I didn't have quite a cup. I think I had like a little over 3/4 cup. I cooked it though, and it actually came out to 3 cups of cooked quinoa. So I'm going to be having this dish for basically 4 days because I did cook up some chicken in my crock pot. And I shredded it. If you know anything about cooked chicken, you can actually only keep it in your fridge cooked for like 3 to 4 days. So I am not going to have this for all 5 days, just for 4 days. And then I took some of the leftover. I had about 3 leftover of the happy egg, and I just made some deviled eggs. I did have to use regular mayonnaise, so this did come out to 1 smart point for each whole egg. There are 6 pieces here because it was 3 eggs, but I will probably have 1 whole one, or I might even just have 1/2, whatever I feel like for the week. But I am counting the whole egg as 1 smart point. Sorry there. Just because I did have to use a little bit of regular mayonnaise, but I did add mustard to it, so it would be creamier. But that's what I'm having. And then on top of my chicken, which if you're on the blue plan is 0 smart points. If you're on the green, you will have to count the egg in addition to the mayonnaise. The quinoa, I looked up on the My WW app, and the quinoa for 1 whole cooked amount of quinoa is 6 smart points. I'm only going to be doing 2/3, so I'll adjust that in my app. But I believe it is like 4 points or 5 points. I will let you know once I put the whole meal together. Then for my barbecue sauce, I did get the G. Hughes sugar-free sweet and spicy. This is something that I really like, sweet and spicy sauce, whereas a lot of the people in my house don't. This right here, let me turn this around awkwardly. 2 tablespoons is only 10 calories, and it does say at the bottom here that only 2 carbs per serving. So if that's something you're watching, that's fine. What I plan on doing is I'm just going to take out enough portion for myself, and then I will put the tablespoons of the barbecue sauce each day when I eat it. And that's what I'm going to do for my lunches for those days. On Friday and then throughout the weekend, I'll just be eating some leftovers. Now I did prep 1 meal for Monday and Tuesday. I've been dying for a sweet potato. If you watch my grocery haul, you'll know that the sweet potato was giant. So what I did is I actually cut this in half. The whole entire sweet potato was about 260 grams or something like that. So this whole sweet potato is just like a smaller amount. Most potatoes you count like 148 grams, but I believe this sweet potato was something like 130 or 120. I will leave the measurement down below in the description bar or on the screen. Half the time it's going to be in the description bar just because it's a little bit easier to do. And then also I did cook up some chicken. Boneless, skinless chicken breast. I am on the blue plan, so once again, this is 0. If you're on the green, you'll have to count that. But I do have my sweet potato here. This is going to be 2 meals. There's 2 pieces of chicken under here. I don't know if you can see it. And I'll have that for Monday and Tuesday. The other meals, I will show you what they look like once I get to them, different things I'm going to be making, and I'll eat them as like leftovers or might eat them as 2 meals. I was only planning to have this meal once, but the potatoes were so big. Anyway, I do want to mention though that I don't know if these containers look kind of small, but they are just the Members Mark one. And this is like one of the bigger ones. This holds quite a bit of chicken, so it might look kind of small, but they are pretty good size. Anyway, this is what I have meal prepped. So this is the first part of what I will be eating. I think on Monday, I'm going to probably end up having a smoothie. And then, of course, we'll switch off and on. Anyway, this is what it looks like. I will show you each meal, though, once I've put it actually together. And then I'll share the exact smart points there or in the description bar. All right, let's get on to some of the breakfasts. I did want to mention that the barbecue chicken, along with the quinoa, is supposed to go with these boiled eggs or the, what do you call it, deviled eggs. I don't remember if I mentioned it or not. But I also have some of the corn left over from last week. So I plan on doing a small corn on the cob with this, just to make like kind of like a barbecue dish. But I did want to bring that up just in case, because I don't think I mentioned it in the last clip. All right, now we'll get into all the meals and what they actually look like. All right, so we're getting ready for breakfast. I thought I would show this to you. I have my cast iron skillet. There's a ton of salt on here because I spilt this new sea salt that I bought. But anyway, what I've been doing is using my cast iron skillet. So I just have some extra virgin olive oil. I've only been doing a half a teaspoon so that I can have fat in here to keep this well seasoned. And I put half a teaspoon for 1 smart point. I'm going to be eating every day. It might be 1 to 2 eggs here. And today I'm just going to eat 1, and then I'm going to cook an extra one though because I do have a doctor's appointment that I need to go to, so that way most of the time I'm going to cook it in the skillet, but for tomorrow I'm just going to be heating it up inside of a container or a paper plate probably. Anyway, so you're going to see me. I'm going to show you what these look like when I cook them. What I basically do is I do have my containers over here. Basically, I have like my potatoes, of course, and then my bacon. Basically, I'm just going to choose depending on how hungry I am. Today, I'm probably going to have like 4 of those little pieces, which equal 2 actual slices of bacon. So that's going to be 3 smart points. My oil is going to be 1 for the half a teaspoon. I'm going to put 148 grams of the potatoes, so a portion of that. And that's going to be 3 points. And then I'm going to do, like I said, I'm probably going to have 1 egg and do 1 for tomorrow. I'm going to show you, I'm going to put everything in here. And then what I do is I just put the lid on. So I have my little lid over here. And then it just cooks really good. So I'm going to show you what it looks like once it's like steaming and what the eggs look like. They are like perfection. But basically it is 3 points for the potatoes. It is going to be 3 points for the bacon for the 2 slices. And then it is 1 point for the oil. So altogether it is a 7-point breakfast, but it is very, very filling. Anyway, I'll show you what it looks like once I put it in, let it steam. Okay, I'm going to be sharing with you my lunch prep all together. As you can see, there is a corn on the cob. If you remember from last week, I had the frozen corn on the cob, so I guess I can show you this bag. It's just like a great value. Sorry, I have salt everywhere. But the great value little mini corn on the cob, they're only like 90 calories and 0 smart points if you're on blue for the My WW program. I have about 2 ounces of shredded chicken that I made in the crock pot that you saw earlier. I have 2/3 cup of cooked quinoa. Once again, this is the Whole Foods brand that is just from the bulk section that I had for a while. I don't really have the nutritional value, so I just looked up cooked quinoa, and for 2/3 cup is basically 4 smart points. The barbecue sauce I put on here is this right here, the G Hughes sugar-free barbecue sauce. I may have showed it earlier, but you can have 30 grams for 0 smart points, so I have that on top. And then these are my little deviled eggs. I did have to use a little bit of like regular or light mayo and some mustard, but I looked up deviled eggs inside the calculator, and for what I used in the ingredients, it is basically 1 smart point for a whole egg. So I'm having 1 point there and 4 points for the quinoa. Everything else is 0. So this is going to be a 5-point lunch. This is actually the last day. I'm eating this on Thursday. I did have this from Monday through Thursday for lunches, and this was really good. I really wish I had more of it. In the future, I would probably make enough for 5 days and just freeze one of them because you can only have cooked chicken in your refrigerator for so long. But anyway, this is going to be lunch. All right, so my neighbor is mowing the lawn, so there's not much I can do about that. But I did want to show you my 7-point dinner. I have 132 grams of a sweet potato, and I just baked this in the oven, just pretty basic recipe. I have a half a teaspoon of butter on there and a teaspoon of brown sugar. And then the other half a teaspoon, I just put on some veggies. If you remember my bird's eye veggies from last week, it's just like a mixture. I took some of the squash out and some of the cauliflower. And then I just have about 3 ounces of boneless, skinless chicken breast for $0. So I am on the My WW Blue plan. So the brown sugar is 1 smart point. The teaspoon of butter, I have half, of course, on the veggies and half on the sweet potato. That is 2 points. And then my sweet potato for 132 grams is actually 4 points. So altogether, this is my 7-point dinner. Once again, this is what I'm having for Monday and Tuesday night dinners. I just went ahead and ate it in the in the glass jar because right now it's Tuesday, but this is just in the glass jar just to save on dishes. Stay tuned for the rest. All right, I'm going to show you what I had for a Wednesday night. I made basically a smoked sausage Alfredo. What I did is I took that leftover Hillshire Farm turkey sausage that I had last week. I had about half the package, which was about 6.5 ounces. I took basically 6 ounces, and I cut it up in just like, like kind of sliced it, I guess you could say. I diced it up. I left a little piece because I think I'm going to do something with this on Saturday night. Anyway, what I did is I cooked up, let me show this to you, sorry if it's shaky, the organic True Goodness whole wheat penne pasta. I had this in my grocery haul. It is 6 smart points for 2 ounces. But what I did is I made this bake here. I took 4 ounces, so 2 servings of this and boiled it up. Then I made like an Alfredo sauce, and I took the Meyer, this is just original unsweetened almond milk. I took about a half a cup of this. I did 1/8 cup of the Frigo shredded Parmesan cheese. This one, I think it cost me just a few smart points for this. And then I added a little bit of this garlic stuff. I love fresh garlic, but hey, quarantine time. And then I use this 1/3 less fat, whatever you say it, cheese. I only did a tablespoon and a half. And so basically I just made like an Alfredo sauce. And then that big bag of bird's eye veggies, mixed veggies, I just took out cauliflower, or sorry, not cauliflower, or actually I think I did a few pieces of cauliflower, but I basically took out broccoli, kind of chopped it up and steamed it, and I made this bake here. I've already eaten it. It was really, really good. I forgot to take a picture, but here's what it looks like. I have enough for 2 more servings, so I had that for Wednesday night dinner tonight, and then what I'm going to do is have this for lunch for Friday and Saturday. Because Friday, of course, I cannot have, I won't have any more of my, quinoa bowl. Anyway, this is going to be lunches for, Friday and Saturday, but it made 3, basically split it up into 3 servings. So it was really, really good, but it made it 8 smart points each. So if I'm wrong, I'll put the correction in the little deets down below, but I will put the exact measurements here because I just kind of made and did my own thing, but pretty good here and pretty filling, I will say. All right, so here's the meal I'm going to be having for Thursday and Friday. This is a Parmesan chicken rice skillet. I've made this quite a few times for actually everybody in my household, and it's a fan favorite. It does have a little bit of chili flakes in it, so sometimes I'll leave that out, but I definitely put it in this time. Anyway, what I did is just, of course, made this and threw in some vegetables. I usually do that. I took that big bird's eye thing and I threw in just like some broccoli, some carrot pieces, a couple cauliflower pieces, and mixed it all together. I have this recipe that I found. I'm pretty sure it's from Pinterest, so I will link it down below. But I basically cut it into thirds because it actually makes 6 servings, and I'm going to be eating this for Thursday and Friday. And I did have to pull a piece of chicken from the bag in the freezer and cook that up to do this. But it's pretty good, and it's one of my favorites, so I'm definitely excited to eat this for Thursday and Friday evening. Okay, so the lighting's not the greatest, but here is my big Quiona picture, and I made some tea, so this is going to be just for the weekend, and cold brew tea is the best. Put a little monk fruit stevia in it, and I'll be good to go. And also, of course, I have my lemon. It is Saturday. We're getting to a little bit of a late start here, but I'm going to be doing smoothies for Saturday and Sunday's breakfast. So here I just have my Ninja. That's what I use. Here are my smoothie packets you saw me prep. I'm going to put them in here. I'm going to put a half a cup of almond milk, a little bit of this vanilla, and then I'm just going to add probably just like a couple grams of honey. I will go ahead and count a point for that. And then I'm going to add just a tablespoon of chia seeds. You can have a tablespoon for 2 points. I'm going to count 1 point for my honey. I do not count blended fruit though, because I personally actually feel like I eat less fruit when I blend it. Whereas I know that there's like kind of a thing where they feel like you're going to eat more fruit and like not treat it as a snack. Like you'll actually eat this and then go have another meal. I don't do that. I feel like I actually eat less fruit when I blend it up. So I will count anything else I put into it, but that's of course your choice to do. But I'm going to go ahead and count this as 3 points, 2 for the chia seeds, and then I'm going to do 1 for the honey. So this will be a 3 smart point breakfast for me. And then of course I'll have my coffee, but I'm just going to put this in the blender and I'll show you what it looks like, I guess, once it's blended, but just a basic smoothie. Maybe I'll show a pic or something of it when I'm done. So here we are with Saturday night's dinner, and this is also going to be Sunday's lunch. So I got a recipe idea from Pinterest. I will link the original one down below. You will notice that I take a lot of recipes and then just like do my own thing with them. I don't even have all the stuff for it, but basically what I'm going to do is just going to use three Smart Point, which is 148 grams of the baby yellow potatoes. I have here a half a serving of the Hillshire sausage. I used the rest of it in a recipe earlier this week, but I just have like half an ounce. So that should be about 2 Smart Points. And then I have some carrots because the recipe had carrots in it. I have some Weiler's chicken powder. I'm going to make some broth with that, like a cup of broth. And then I have like basically the Meyer version of Rotel tomatoes. Basically, I'm just going to saute these 3 with some spices and salt and pepper. Then I'm going to add the broth and the Rotel and just bring it to a boil until the potatoes are softened and the carrots. And then basically it's just going to be a potato soup. I don't know, it sounded really good. So I will link the original recipe down below. And then I will let you know how much this was for point wise. But basically it's just kind of my own thing. But anyway, this is going to be Saturday night's dinner and Sunday afternoon's lunch. So that should be the last of it. I'll show you the finished product when I'm done. So there you have it, an entire week of meals just for one person. I hope that you try some of these and that you like them. So be sure to stay tuned for next week. Next week, you're going to see these videos, of course, later on, probably in June, just because of all the hospital visits. But next week is actually Memorial Day, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to make meals without actually doing a week of meal prep. So be sure to stay tuned for that video. Bye, everyone.